Thousands of people have felt an earthquake that struck southern New South Wales in just the past few hours.
We'd still need new technology to suck carbon dioxide out of the skies by the middle of the century.
Attribution say that climate change is playing a role in Iran's drought.
Kehidupan baru akan segera dimulai. Akan banyak penyesuaian terhadap hal-hal baru tentunya. Merasakan persahabatan yang seperti keluarga sendiri adalah sebuah kenyamanan. Kemudahan yang didapat saat berada dimanapun, pengalaman transaksi yang aman dan nyaman, menciptakan sebuah lingkungan hidup yang harmonis, bersama komunitas membangun masa depan.
INNOVENTURE. Perkenalkan, nama saya Dylan.
Dan saya Selin. Kami akan memandu jalannya acara hingga selesai hari ini.
Nah, Sel, aku penasaran nih. INNOVENTURE tuh kira-kira apa ya?
Apa ya? Mau tahu banget? Apa mau tahu aja?
Mau tahu banget sih.
Mau tahu banget
Iya,
ya?
mau tahu
Oke.
banget nih kita.
INNOVENTURE 2026 adalah sebuah business innovation competition yang dirancang untuk mengembangkan kemampuan analitis, strategis, dan inovatif dari para talenta muda, khususnya mahasiswa Indonesia yang sedang menempuh studi di berbagai kota di China. Melalui pendekatan yang imersif dan berbasis pada real world problem solving, peserta ditantang untuk tidak hanya memahami masalah, tetapi juga merumuskan solusi yang implementatif dan berdampak nyata.
Nah, bagi kalian yang belum tahu, perjalanan menuju tahap ini bukanlah perjalanan yang singkat. Pada tanggal 4 dan 5 April lalu, kita telah menjalankan proses seleksi tahap pertama dan tahap yang kedua. Dari proses tersebut, hanya tim-tim terbaik yang berhasil melaju hingga ke tahap final hari ini. Apa yang kita akan saksikan nanti adalah hasil proses seleksi yang ketat dan sangat kompetitif.
Betul sekali. Dan hari ini, kita tidak hanya akan menyaksikan kompetisi, tetapi juga proses berpikir, cara tim membangun argumen, serta bagaimana mereka menyampaikan solusi di hadapan para juri yang super duper keren.
Sebelum kita masuki pada bagian utama dari acara kita hari ini, mari kita dengarkan kata sambutan dari Ketua BPT Region Selatan. Kami persilakan kepada saudara kami, Vincent.
Mari berikan tepuk tangan yang meriah untuk Vincent.
Selamat siang semuanya. Pertama-tama saya mau BPT Region Selatan dan juga BPT Pusat ingin mengucapkan selamat kepada para finalis yang telah menunjukkan dedikasi dan kerja keras yang luar biasa hingga dapat mencapai babak akhir yang spesial ini. Luar biasa, dan juga kami saat ini mendedikasikan apresiasi kami kepada seluruh tim BPT Senten yang dapat menyelenggarakan acara spesial ini. Kalian telah membuktikan bahwa tidak ada batasan bagi mereka yang berani bermimpi dan juga berjuang. Saya ingin menekankan bahwa acara ini bukan sekedar acara biasa. Bukti nyatanya terletak pada dua hal signifikan. Yang pertama adalah lineup daripada juri yang kita tidak bisa remehkan daripada background juga achievementnya. Dan yang kedua adalah lokasi kita sekarang, yakni Tencent Behind Ancient Center, yang merupakan pencapaian yang sangat bermakna bagi mahasiswa Indonesia di Tiongkok. Oleh karena itu, dengan sepenuh hati, saya sampaikan apresiasi mendalam kepada PPT Center dan seluruh panitia yang telah bekerja keras mewujudkan acara yang berkualitas ini. Dengan dukungan dan komitmen teman-teman PPT Center, saya yakin dan percaya bahwa visi Indonesia Emas 2045 semakin nyata dan dapat diwujudkan. Sekian dari saya, mari kita berikan semangat kepada para finalis dan juga seluruh panitia. Terima kasih.
Baik, terima kasih, luar biasa sambutan dari saudara Vincent. Tadi ada disebutkan Indonesia Emas ya.
Iya, betul sekali.
Jadi acara hari ini dapat mendukung jalannya Indonesia Emas tersebut ya. Lalu, mari kita dengarkan kata sambutan selanjutnya, yaitu dari Bendahara Umum PPIT Pusat kepada Catherine Citra. Kita persilahkan.
Mungkin aku bisa sampaikan kata sambutannya in English ya, karena tadi aku diinfoin barangkali ada judgesnya yang datang juga, jadi I'll be presenting my speech in English. So good afternoon everyone, good afternoon honorable judges, consent staffs, participants, and of course all the committee team, both from PPI Tiongkok and PPI Indonesia. My name is Catherine Citra, head treasurer of the Indonesian Students Association in China. And I'm here on behalf of our organization's president, Gregorius Justin Chung. First and foremost, I want to extend our thanks to all parties that have made this event possible. First, our judges, Professor Sun Kwan, Professor Liu Ji, Professor Alessandro, Ms. Ota, who has allowed their time to attend this event. And also our sponsors, Tencent, who has offered their building as venue for the event, and also Bank of China, who has also shown their participation in this event. We also want to thank all of the participants who has come from all over China to attend here in Shenzhen, and every single committee who has worked tirelessly for INNOVENTURE. This year's INNOVENTURE is the first offline business competition our organization has ever conducted, and it's conducted first with the mission to develop problem-solving skills for Indonesian students in China. Despite all the uncertainties of conducting an event the first time, PPI Shenzhen took the initiative to be the host, and we are truly, truly honored by that. Please give a round of applause for everyone first. Being in Shenzhen myself, I have witnessed how diligently everyone has been working towards INNOVENTURE. Online first, I want to mention Lucas and team having late night meetings, and on the offline side, Calvin and team has worked so hard in preparing all the materials here today. Even last night, I saw some PPI Shenzhen members in Shaw College lobby still preparing for today's event. So thank you for everyone who has worked for this. We hope INNOVENTURE will not only achieve its mission in enhancing problem-solving skills among participants, but also in strengthening the relationship between PPI Tiongkok and PPI Shenzhen. May every single one of us learn something new from INNOVENTURE today. And to all the participants, I wish everyone the best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you for the remarkable speech from Catherine Citra. Luar biasa ya, Dion ya.
Betul sekali.
Selain kami mau berterima kasih pada para yang sudah memberikan sambutan, kami juga mau berterima kasih kepada para sponsor, yaitu Tencent, BOT Jakarta, Kartens, dan Tempo Media atas dukungannya pada acara hari ini. Nah, habis ini kita ngapain nih, Dion?
Nah, untuk teman-teman audiens, kami juga telah menyiapkan beberapa aktivitas interaktif yang dapat diikuti selama acara berlangsung, termasuk Cook dan Innovation Walk. Tapi sebelum itu katanya ada voting ya, Sarah?
Yes, betul. Nah, khusus untuk audience voting, setiap dari kalian akan memiliki kesempatan untuk memberikan suara kepada tim favorit kalian selama sesi pitching nanti.
Dan voting akan dibuka setiap selesai presentasi. Jadi pastikan telah memperhatikan proses dengan baik dan karena kalian akan menjadi bagian dari hasil akhir pemenang dari Innovation 2026.
Yes, sebelum kita mulai, kami akan menjelaskan beberapa aturan serta mekanisme dari acara hari ini, termasuk sesi games dan voting audience. Nah, teman-teman, ini berikut adalah mekanisme acara kita hari ini. Jadi tadi pagi jam 10 para panelis telah berkumpul di sini untuk mendapatkan case mereka yang akan dibawakan pada sesi pitching pada hari ini. Kemudian mereka akan mengirimkan sebelum nanti jam 2:30 dan kami di sini akan mendengarkan bersama-sama pitching yang luar biasa.
Siapa yang bisa buatku begini? Gila, ini bahagia apa menderita? Langit lagi bagus-bagusnya, tapi bagiku biasa saja. Dia buatku terkesima. Menyapamu, tak berani menciummu, apalagi mata, pundak, lutut, kaki. Gemetarku berdiri kalau sampai ku miliki. Tak mau ku tidur lagi, alamat malah nanti kau pergi. Kalau ada 9 nyawa, mau samamu saja semuanya. Ini dada, isinya kamu semua. Alamak, inikah jatuh cinta? Apa kamu sayang? Apa hayalan cubit aku sekarang? Buat mabuk apa ya? Seketika pingsan, mana nafas buatannya? Can I see you for a minute? Boleh aku visit? See you mom and dad, aku pamit. Kalau memang naga-naganya kau berkenan, ku berangkat sekarang. Ya kamu tak berani menciummu, apalagi mata, pundak, lutut, kaki. Gemetarku berdiri kalau sampai ku miliki. Tak mau ku tidur lagi, alamat malah nanti kau pergi. Kalau ada 9 nyawa, alamak ku jatuh cinta. Semuanya ini dada, di sana kau semua. Alamak, inikah jatuh cinta? Minimal kau bilang, bila kata sayang, biar ku tak perasaan. Jadi berhenti kau menatap, karena ku tak kuat berharap. Bersamamu saja semuanya. Coba buka, isinya kamu semua. Oh gawat, ini ku jatuh cinta. 9 nyawa, bersamamu langit kalau mempesona. Tak mau yang lain-lain, dada, isinya kamu semua. Alamak, inikah jatuh cinta? Gila, naga-naganya ku tak jatuh cinta. Alamak, inikah jatuh cinta? Semenjak pertama ku jumpa dengannya.
We would like to kindly ask for your attention.
Our distinguished judges have arrived, and from this moment forward, the event will be conducted in English.
Yes, and before we proceed further, allow us to briefly reintroduce what INNOVENTURE represents. INNOVENTURE 2026 is a business innovation competition designed to develop analytical, strategic, and innovative capabilities of young talents through immersive, real-world problem-solving experiences. This platform specifically brings together Indonesian students across China, creating a space where ideas are challenged, refined, and transformed into impactful solutions.
Just a few days ago on April 4th and 5th, we conducted the first and second rounds of selection. The level of enthusiasm and quality demonstrated by the participants were truly remarkable. The teams we will see today are the results of a highly competitive and rigorous selection process.
And to our finalists, this year we are also joined by two wildcard teams from Shenzhen who have gone through a special selection process and
last but not least, we have Team Garuda Consulting. Our great honor now it is our great honor to introduce our distinguished panel of judges. Please join us in welcoming
Alessandro Teixeira, the former Minister of Tourism of Brazil and Professor of Practice at UHK Center.
Professor of Marketing at UHK Center.
And for the next one, we have Lee Sung-Wan, the Assistant Professor of Finance at UHK Center.
The next one is Ocha Stephanie, CEO and founder of Uniqlo.co and Head of Treasury at Kidney China. Let's give a round of applause for our amazing judges.
We are really honored to have such an accomplished panel with us today, and we look forward to their insights throughout the session.
Let's capture this special moment together with a group photo of all of the judges. Before we proceed further with the program, let us listen to the opening remarks from INNOVENTURE 2026 Committee. Let's welcome Jolene Jovanka.
Okay, good afternoon, distinguished judges, respected guests, and all of the participants of INNOVENTURE competition on 2026. So first and foremost, I would like to extend our sincere appreciation for all the judges that has made it to this venue here today for the final round of INNOVENTURE competition in Tansen Binhai Mansion. Your expertise and insights are invaluable, and we are truly honored to have you guys here today with us. Next, a big congratulations to all of the participants for making it to the final round of this business and innovation competition. We understand that many of you guys have traveled from different cities, and even some of you guys just arrived here this morning. And for that, your dedication and commitment truly has to be recognized. You have already achieved something remarkable by reaching to this stage, So keep going and give it your very best. Semangat to all of you guys. This competition is not only about winning, but also about sharing ideas, learning from one another, and pushing boundaries of innovation. Today, all of us here are future leaders, innovators, and change makers. INNOVENTURE competition from zero to venture hero. So without further ado, let the competition begin, and best of luck for all the participants, and may today be filled with inspiring ideas and remarkable innovation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Romanka, for the wonderful speech. Now, let's listen to the opening remarks from the president of PBIT Shenzhen, Calvin Theorens.
Let's give a round of applause for Calvin Theorens.
Good afternoon, distinguished judges, respected participants, and esteemed audience. It's my pleasure to welcome you guys on the round 2 of INNOVENTURE. Before we begin, I would like to take a moment to express our sincere appreciation to our sponsors. Your support has made this event possible, and we are truly grateful for your contributions and empowering innovation and young talents. Today marks an important stage in this journey. The teams here are no longer just participants. You are the individuals who have demonstrated strong ideas, commitment, and the ability to stand out. In this round, what I've been looking goes beyond innovation alone. It is about vision, strength, and the potential to create a meaningful impact for his world. And to our distinguished judges, thank you, judges. Thank you for your presence and for the perspective you bring. Your role to evaluate, but also to challenge and inspire. And to all participants, this is your stage. Present with confidence, stand by your ideas, and show us the value behind your work. With that, let us begin the presentation. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now proceed to the final pitch session. Today we have 6 teams presenting their solutions, each bringing a unique perspective and approach to the case they were given earlier today. Each presentation will be followed by a Q&A session with our judges, where teams will have the opportunity to further defend and elaborate on their ideas. Just a reminder, all teams will have 7 minutes to present their pitch and 8 minutes for the Q&A session. And there will be a one-time buzz for 3 minutes reminder, and it will buzz twice for a 1-minute reminder.
And if the time is up, there will be the third bus. And for our audience, your role is also very important. Audience voting will be opened, and there will be one QR code. Can you please turn the slides to the QR code? QR code, please, for the audience voting. And from this QR code, you will have the opportunity to support the team that you believe delivered the most compelling and impactful solutions. At the end of the session, your votes can determine the winner. So for a reminder, this QR code is one QR for all the teams. So make sure you can take a picture of the QR code. So this QR code will be used for all the teams' evaluation.
Now let's proceed with the first presentation of the team.
So without any further ado, let's welcome our first presenter, Garuda Consulting! Consulting! faced by the beverage industry. Good morning, everyone. We are Garuda Indonesia, and today we will present a sustainability transformation for Daily Sip. Now let's begin with a company overview. Sorry. There seems to be a problem with the clicker. There we go. So, Daily Sip is a beverage industry and the FMCG industry with a specialization in ready-to-drink beverage segments. Its marketing positioning centers around accessibility and affordability, keeping its prices 10 to 15% lower than competitors. Its primary markets are based in Southeast Asian markets, with Singapore, Indonesia, and Vietnam as their primary key revenue drivers. Now, as they solidify its position in the market, they have new strategic objectives, which is to aim to increase Southeast Asian market share by 10%, targeting 50% increase in e-commerce platforms, and also a goal to achieve carbon neutral production by 2030.
Now let's take a look into the Southeast Asia FMCG market industry analysis. So with a CAGR of 8.95%, the industry is expected to reach 302.22 billion by 2033. So the FMCG industry consists of a lot of segments, including healthcare, household necessities, daily necessities, and also body care. But FMCG is one of the largest markets in this industry, with the key players like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Nestle, and Red Bull. So FMCG market is expanding rapidly. However, this industry is also facing a lot of sustainability pressures, such as global plastic waste. 50% of the global plastic waste is contributed by 50 companies, and 40 among these companies belong to the FMCG industry, with Coca-Cola and Pepsi contributing to almost 20% of the global waste of plastic.
Moving on, and Daily Sip is not an exception to this. They currently face a sustainability crisis, where 70% of their packaging is single-use plastic, which is extremely unsustainable. So, this has received direct criticisms from their core demographics, such as Gen Zs and millennials. And they also have larger competitors cut investing them in sustainability, which is a big problem. And now, let's take a look at the sustainability demands. 78% of consumers consider sustainability factors when shopping, and also 50% of consumers are willing to pay for eco-friendly packaging, and this can pose as a great opportunity for Daily Sip. So the second problem is regulatory and safety risks. It was found that authorities in Indonesia and Vietnam have notified a chemical stabilizers in their products, which is extremely unsafe, and the impact. They have their product withdrawals in 4 markets, significantly impacting their revenue streams. So let's take a look at the material. So in order to move forward to become more eco-friendly and sustainable, we have compared with other materials such as plastic, fiber, and aluminum according to 5 weighted criteria. It was found out that aluminum poses as the best material for this, as it has chemical safety, strong barriers, and sustainability, and also sleek packaging. But if aluminum is the clear strategic winner, why is it not used by other companies? The problem lies in price accessibility, where in the FMCG industry, cost is everything, and therefore there is a demand-value gap for aluminum. Therefore, we recommend introducing the double A strategy, the Alumi Active Initiative. First, aluminum, which is to reduce sustainability, to be more sustainable, and active to increase its positioning in the market. Let's start with aluminum. So you're taking the dead weight of plastic and proving every step is safe and sustainable. How does this address the problem? They replace 70% of single-use plastic with aluminum, which is a recyclable material, and it can position themselves as a clean label product by providing 100% barrier against light and oxygen. Next is active. We will use NFC-embedded smart labels. And how does this address the problem? A digital passport for every single can allows users to verify the safety, origin, and the compliance status.
turning a regulatory crisis into a competitive advantage. So, how does this work? We will start with digital onboarding during the production process, and it is verified and uploaded to the blockchain, and also consumer interactions where they can scan and know the following details, and also we're closing the loop and future scalability for recyclable procedures. To improve sustainability, we are going to transition from PET bottles to aluminum cans. And to do that, we have a value-based pricing strategy. So by using industry benchmark, the average selling price of ready-to-drink beverages is estimated at $1.8, and with our value pricing strategy, we're going to price our products at $1.85. And this is still 7.5% cheaper than competitors, maintaining the competitiveness of our industry, and this one is compared to like the 10% cheaper than competitors. And to maintain sales through value communication and product differentiation while leveraging our sustainability impact, we believe that we can transition from selling on price to selling on value with our strategy. Moving on is an implementation timeline that starts in 2026 with regulatory and safety by removing flat chemicals out of the serves and finalizing element bottle design and R&D. NFC Smart Label by launching blockchain and ledger, and by doing that we will increase consumer awareness through crisis communication. In 2027 we want to transition 30% of RPD production to aluminum. In 2029 we scale NFC labels to all SKUs and increase awareness and eliminate 73% of plastic packaging. Moving on to evaluate the success of our strategy, we have 3 main KPIs, which is a 70% reduction of single-use plastic packaging and an increase in e-commerce presence by 45%. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Team Toyota Consulting, for the remarkable presentation. Now we will move on with the Q&A session from the judges.
So, hi, I got one of your name, Keisha and Dennis. Nice to meet you guys. I have a pretty simple questions. Since the whole POV was come for the manufacturer side as a company, how you guys treat for us, let's say I'm the buyer for your R2D drinks, R2D beverage. If, as we know that the whole things in the market perceive that all the bottled drinks actually is not that healthy, how you convince all the customers, let's say I'm going to the convenience store and I see all the products, what makes you choose your beverage as one of the things that, let's say, okay, you guys reduce the single-use plastic packaging, more sustainability things for the materials, but for us, as a POP of the buyer, how you convince that this is like, compared to the other drinks, but you can still use the bottle anyway, why I choose this drink instead of this one?
So thank you for your question. So one of our ways to educate our consumers, to communicate our value proposition to our customers, is by using the NFC embedded smart labels. So all they have to do is scan the QR code behind the product to gain information on their safety, their origin, and 2026 compliance status. And this is because we need to educate the customers. It's not easy to educate the customers based on just social media campaigns. We need to embed it in the products themselves in order for them to know about this. And with this, they can realize how dangerous and how wasteful that plastic packaging actually is. And also, to support, we will use social media and platforms as a complementary basis to educate them as well, and creating informative posts to educate our customers. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. So your strategy mainly sounds like you want to change the tier, right? And then you introduce this NFC, labels. But specifically, what does technology create value in your proposal, and how you can differentiate competitors?
Yeah, so thank you for your question. Our competitive advantage is mainly lies in the sustainability impact of our product and our strategy. So, for example, the smart labeling strategy that we're going to use improves like authenticity, ensures authenticity and supply chain transparency. Also shows like sustainability matrix that addresses one of the sustainability challenges in this industry. And the smart labeling industry too is also one of fast-growing industry globally, growing at a CAGR of 6.6%. And that is why we believe that with our strategy can create a competitive advantage for daily sips and also consumers.
Maybe to add, as the market is already expanding to new technologies and we're already adapting to it, we can the technology plays a big part in convincing them, and everyone seems to be very impressed with new technologies, which is why, as Deja said, it can be a very compelling value proposition for us. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the presentation. I have two questions. So, as the mention of the case study, you have a lot of competitors, right? And sometimes the competitors, they already use aluminum, right, in the market. So what is going to be your value proposition in that case? How are you going to, you're leading from a low-cost production, plastic, as you said, to a more smart and technological and eco-friendly use, right? Also, you are changing a little bit your value proposition because you are using blockchain to monitor all the kind of ingredients, and that's what is different from the others. So how you align your strategy with your product cost? Because as you see in the description of case, you have only 35% of selling online. And if you are using QR codes and things like that, so maybe you increase online sales. So how you align your strategy compared to your price? Because this is a low price. Thank you.
Yeah, so one of the competitive advantage of that daily sip has is having a selling price that is lower by 10 to 50% compared to competitors. However, in the financial part, with our value-based strategy, with our value-based strategy, we estimate a price increase from like 1.8 to 1.85, which is still 7.5% cheaper than competitors. However, we're also leveraging the sustainability impact of our strategy to consumers. So we believe that we're still perceiving competitiveness in the market, in a very like competitive market, while also like adding value to our products, which is sustainability.
So I have a question regarding whether your strategy makes economical sense. So let's think from the perspective of the cost side. So you're essentially changing the materials, which means that you need the adjustment cost when you're producing it, right? You need to reconfigure your factories. And on top of that, I guess aluminum is heavier than the plastic, which means that the delivery cost will be much higher. So you're essentially facing this higher production cost. And on the revenue side, essentially you are increasing the price that you mentioned, and putting aside your strategy aside, right? So the positioning of the company is to sell the products at a much cheaper price than other competitors, but as you can tell, that's quite an increase in that price. So, and our target customer is the millennial and Z, but you mentioned that people are more willing to pay for a higher price for eco-friendly products, but typically speaking, and the customers are not that wealthy type of revenue side, you probably face a drop hit in the revenue. So my question is whether you're experiencing it.
Okay, thank you so much for your question. Of course, with the strategy, we must shift our target consumers as well as we change our positioning in the industry, in which Asia will elaborate. So this is like the detail about our pricing strategy. This is the detail of our pricing strategy calculation. So we project that we assume that the aluminum is 110% more effective, and we have like 3 scenarios to put the cost either to consumers or to ourselves, or absorb to ourselves, and also a balance strategy. And we decided to do it with a balance strategy by absorbing some of the additional costs and also putting the weight to the consumers. And so what leads to this pricing strategy is the industry is consumer demand that they really prioritize ethical, humane, and sustainable elements of the industry. And that is why we believe that this strategy is economically feasible. But to add on the weight problem, I think there is still a lot of space for us to either put the weight on, and other than that, plastic is also actually quite expensive, considering that there's a hidden cost of $0.02 for plastic because of like regulatory compliances and tax. So we believe that it is actually quite feasible and viable to transition to aluminum while also adding sustainability impact.
Okay, that's the end of our Q&A session. Thank you, Team Better Consulting, for your very, very insightful presentation. Let's give them a round of applause. Give them a round of applause. Now, the next team. For our next team, we'll be calling Team Izin Menang Bos to present to the stage. Present to the stage.
Okay, good morning everyone. Thank you for coming. And today we are going to present our solution to help with daily sales problem. And our solution is pouring a greener future. Okay, let me introduce myself. My name is Orlando Vito, and this is my friend Theodore Archie, and we are from Team Izin. So basically, I'm going to tell you a little bit of the company that is DailySafe. DailySafe is a mid-sized FMCG company that is based in Singapore and is founded in 2015. Their market is across Southeast Asia, and they have a strong brand that is affordability and accessibility in beverages. They usually target Gen Zs and millennials all across Vietnam, Indonesia, and Singapore. They did 420 million USD in 2025, and their famous product is the green tea, over 38% in sales, and their type of sales are 65% offline and 35% e-commerce. Their strategy goals are expanding functional health beverages and growing the tea market share by 10%. So, as you can see here, DailySafe's problems are the packaging prices. So, over 70% of their packaged beverage are 70% are single-use plastics,
which they cannot be recycled. And this brought heavy criticisms from Gen Z and millennials all across Southeast Asia. The second one is regulatory and ingredient compliance crisis. So basically, this company has been flagged by Indonesia and Vietnam by using some chemical stabilizers in their beverages. And the third is competitive and trust gaps. So basically, these companies' rivals are stepping up their game, and their rivals are gaining an edge over them. Okay, our solution is next-gen sustainable packaging transformation. So basically, the core shift is to move away from single-use plastic packaging that is 70% and cannot be recycled. And we decided to adopt a monomaterial recyclable paper-based packaging as the primary solution. So basically, this is a type of plastic that can be recycled and can be used again for the next beverage. So the cost will not be increased. And also, we decided to use paper-based packaging for other drinks, for example, like coffees that are more fit for this premium packaging. So why paper-based packaging? Basically, paper-based packaging are highly recyclable and supports full biodegradable target by 2030. It also has a strong appeal, like a premium drink, and its appeal to Gen Z and millennial consumers. It's also lightweight and has lower logistical costs. And it's also really easy to regulate across Southeast Asia. So here are the techs that we implemented for the solution. The first one is AI optimized design and production. So basically, this is like a laser machine that can cut the materials like paper-based materials and plastic into bottles and can reduce energy by up to 38%. The second one is water-based barrier coatings. So basically, these materials are then coated by water-based barriers, so they are now plastic-free and doesn't contain any plastic. And the third is laser-etched label-free QR codes. So basically, in every beverage, we can see there are laser-etched QR codes that Gen Z and millennials can use, and they can see
Guys, thank you. Thank you very much for the presentation. Shelf life can be, for example, aluminum or plastic. Shelf life is longer, can be 1 year, 2 years. But in that case, shelf life reduced from 3 to 6 months. So how do you deal with the technology and the cost side of it? Thank you.
So for the water-based coatings, maybe they will do lower the carbon. It says like 68% carbon. Maybe it's not like 100% carbon free by a few years from now, but we're going to aim for lower carbon emission. Like in the next slides, we have like around 55 to 68% of carbon emissions.
Okay, so basically you asked about if the carbonated drinks are lasted in the paper-based materials, right? So I think in this company they don't have carbonated drinks. So it's basically like tea and coffee. So they don't have carbonated. So
They have paper cups, right? Yeah, this is not to sell it. This is you take away. You don't need, you put the coffee and you take away. That is not on the shelf. You sell green tea, you sell products that are sold online. How are you gonna take it? Because you know, we understand there is a difference. Products as the case. The case is that you're gonna have bottles, like these bottles that sell in the supermarket. Understand? Yeah. So it still has a plastic inside. So it has technologically speaking, how you spot to solve this problem.
I might not know the technology set, but from our presentation, like we can reduce the carbon emissions, and with the RPT technology or paper-based, right now they may not be available yet for the 100% paper-based, but our solution is
Carbon emissions first.
Right, so I have two questions. The first question is about the very high ROI of 100 and 300%. So as far as I understand, the paper-based packages are really expensive. So how should you think about this profit margin going forward? So I think this ROI of 200 and 300% is way high. And my second question is with respect to the use of the technology. The companies these days, they have already automated the process of producing those water bottles. So in that case, how can the use of AI can further reduce the cost of production? So
Yes, thank you for the question. So, for the cost at the first year is pretty high, but as you say, how the companies utilize AI, yeah, or for the production, like in the.
I mean, two questions. So the first question is the usage of the paper-based material is really expensive. Right? So as compared to the current operations of using plastic, so your profit margin is pretty low. Right? So in the case, I'm trying to rationalize how you can get that such a high percentage of return on short-term operation.
So first, we will use the recyclable plastic first, the RPEC, not the paper-based. So we're going to implement both, but first we're going to use the RPEC first, that is the recyclable plastic, and then later on we're going to introduce the paper for other drinks. So the cost will not be as heavy as the first one.
Even then, 300% is way too high. And the second question is, how will you use the AI in the production? Factories are less automated, so I wonder how we can use AI to reduce the cost of production.
The AI is utilized to design and the production, like to cut materials and reduce energy.
Compared to current production, how can they further reduce down the cost of production?
It said that our solutions use like AI to cut the material and do infrared blow molding machine.
Okay, can you go back to your slide? You summarized your problems, earlier slide. I think that's around the beginning of the presentation, the problems. Yes. So in this case, there are several problems mentioned, right? And that it sounds like you mainly focus on sustainability issues and you want to change to this paper material, right? But how does your solution balance the other problems mentioned in this case, such as sustainability, regulatory non-compliance, weak consumer trust, or business model pressure? How you can balance these problems?
Yeah, because our solution is only one solution, and it won't directly tackle all these three problems. But for this company, the biggest problem is the packaging crisis, which impacts their reputation. And if we see the third problem is the other competitors gaining an edge by investing in green or eco-friendly technology, by using our technology, our proposed technology like RPET and paper-based. It will also later on tackle the third problem. Although it is correct that it doesn't necessarily tackle the second problem at first, but by tackling the first problem, it will later on affect the regulatory crisis from the other markets.
All right, that's the end of the Q&A session. Let's give applause to Izin and our group. And we want to deeply apologize for any inconvenience and any technical issues that just happened. We found out that it's not the pointer problem, so for the next finalists, so do not worry if the pointers cannot work, since it's the cable problems. So just wait and do not panic, and we will stop the time and add the time. And as of the time, we have stopped and started for the steam, and where the problem appears. So we deeply apologize for any inconvenience. Thank you. So for the next team, we have ICT team. The stage is yours.
present about the given case. So, Davidson is an FMCG company that sells drinks, and they have recently been stuck on a controversy regarding its use of single-use plastic and chemical stabilizers. And so, today we are here to present some of our solutions, and for the core problem, we can understand it as them having weak ESG accountability, particularly its environmental and product safety practices. So we divide our main objectives into four: increase market share by 10% in C, strengthen e-commerce presence by 50%, achieve carbon neutral production by 2030, and an implicit objective is to restore brand trust. So to address the chemical stabilizer issue, we need to understand why we need this thing. And the answer is obvious: it's to preserve the drinks, which is very important for FMCG companies. And so simply removing it will not be a possible solution. And here we propose aseptic processing, which is a manufacturing processing method, which is where the drink is sterilized, the packaging is sterilized, and both are combined in a sterile environment. So there wouldn't be a need to use the chemical stabilizers in the first place, since we control the oxidation and spoilage issue from the beginning of the process. And what we get from doing this is enhanced product safety due to its reduced chemical reliance, extended shelf life without preservations, lower distribution dependency on cold chain, and room temperature accessibility. And so this will lead to lower distribution costs, high accessibility, less waste, and this method is highly scalable for mass production. Next, to address the single-use plastic use, we propose a shift in the packaging by using cellulose-based packaging, which is a packaging made from plant fibers and is fully biodegradable. And so this eliminates single-use plastic waste and reduces environmental footprint across product lifecycle, which directly affects our ESG concerns. It also will lead to key benefits like stronger brand trust and reputation in recovery, better alignment with sustainability regulations in C, premium eco-friendly brand positioning, and has higher appeal to ESG conscious consumers. Okay, thank you, Wilson. Now we'll move on to the digital implementation of our product. So what we first do is we will firstly solve. We will firstly solve and address these issues, which are the social issues or environmental issues, and also the issues over the unsafe chemicals posed by the government. So what we will do is we will directly implement the aseptic processing to essentially sterilize and also preserve our drinks without the need for these unsafe chemicals, and start implementing this cellulose-based packaging in only 6 of our product lines, which are only 5 SKUs, which got 12% increase revenue last year, and also our flagship product, which is the green tea. And so these 6 products serve as a test pilot to see if they actually appreciate cellulose-based packaging. And after that, to have a digital solution, we will implement the electronic point of sale system, which basically acts as a tracker to find out where and how our products are sold. So all over the globe, Singapore, Indonesia, Vietnam, we will know where it's sold and how it's sold. Which distribution channel, either through e-commerce, retail, or social commerce, and which city in particular is sold the most. And as well as have all of this data, we aggregate this data after uploading it to a cloud-based management system and upload it to inputs as for our analytics AI to find out which regions are most superior and also have more care towards the environment. And therefore, we will leverage our partnerships with e-commerce platforms as of now, as well as have key influencers in the areas we found to be the most profitable in the beginning, to tailor and personalize our promotions there and have higher conversion efficiency. And we'll also be able to increase our prices through ESG premium and ESG premium. And so even though that our product is already 10 to 15% lower than our competitors, we can increase it and maintain affordability by having it raised to a figure to 8 to 10% maybe. And through the data we collected from our ecosystem and also our aggregation of it, we will be able to more reinforce our AI as well as be able to more accurately forecast which areas are superior for ESG care and sustainability. And so for our business model, we will be data-driven green FMCG that will sell FMCG products, ready-to-drink products, and also have data-driven analysis and strategies. So we know which and where to sell so that we have more efficiency in our marketing as well as improve our customer acquisition costs. And for our market demographic, as you can see here, these are the population pyramids for Singapore, Indonesia, and Vietnam. And as you can see, most of them are comprised of younger generations, which are Gen Z and millennials. So of course, we will focus and tailor our advertisements to them and have them become our main primary target. These are our cost breakdown, and it's referenced from a similar RTD company, which is FNN, as well as our costs, as well as our financial projections, which have a slight lower dip in 2025 due to the high initial setup costs of our aseptic processing system, as well as the switch to cellulose-based packaging, but it's safe to project to up to 22% in 2030. So that's our presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. for your very insightful presentation. Now we'll move on with the Q&A session.
Alright, hi guys. It's pretty simple questions because as we know that large enterprise FMCG industry like Coca-Cola, Nestle, they really like heavily investing in all sustainability things, right? So just give me one attention each like how you guys can maintain with this kind of ROI, 22% within 5 years. How you guys can, make an innovation edge and this ocean to compete with those giant energy industry with at least 10 times higher resources compared to yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Stephanie, for your question. So to address that issue, we will also know that FMCG is currently a mid-sized company, FMCG company, and so we will be competing along the product lines of those with lower mid-sized market caps, as well as have lower prices. So again, for these, they focus on affordability and accessibility. What differentiates us the most from those companies and those ready-to-drink FMCG companies is that we have a data-driven approach. So we know where to sell and which distribution channel is the most profitable for us. And again, of course, we will focus on ESG more as well as the green energy more. So again, because our solution is that we will focus more on the mid-sized market caps and have this data to back us up.
If I'm able to add, we also have various products from healthy drinks and just daily teas. And so I don't think these soda companies would highly affect our sales since they target different customer segments.
Thank you guys for the presentation. I have a question that follow up with two lines. You present your objective to increase almost 100% your market share, around 70% of market share in 5 years. Through, as I saw that, increase from 25 to 50% online sales. Right? The technology part, I understand, and we'll move to an aseptic production. That's the mainstream line of all producers. But the cost is really expensive to go to aseptic, right? If you check, even online, the largest 4 players in the world that can supply you septic, but the lines are very, very expensive. So I was wondering, how can increase sales on e-commerce, maintain, and you just explained, a lower price when you have to do huge investments? So what is the magic behind that? That's my question.
We have considered this cost problem as well, and we have come to a conclusion that we can partner with specific companies that specialize in these types of products, like Tetra Pak. And so, other than that, we can also do phased implementation, so we don't do it to every single market, but just the most prominent market which has many customers.
And if I may add, our solution is long-term by 2030, and as our company grow and become or bigger market cap company, we will be able to go public through an initial public offering. And again, since our focus is on ESG, we will be able to enter those index funds which have portfolio managers invest in ESG, and therefore fund our aseptic processing needs.
Okay. Let me ask you about some potential risks related to your strategy. Have you considered any potential risks in your proposal? If so, what kind of risks?
So, as we research, aseptic processing actually affects the drink since it's perceived as less fresh drinks since they're not cold. And so we came to a decision that our market segment, which focuses on our market segment and brand identity focuses on accessibility and affordability, that sacrificing a tiny bit of taste might be beneficial for the long term.
Another concern for us is that some younger generation demographic might not be too inclined or care too much about the environment and wouldn't have a care on, again, our movement, so that might affect our sales further. But to address that, Singapore has actually implemented a green plan by 2030, so it will raise awareness on the need to go green and indirectly influence customers to be part of that movement by buying our products. Sorry, buying Daily Steps products.
Okay. And do you have any phased implementation plans across a time period?
A phased implementation plan.
Phased implementation tasks or plans across the timeline.
Oh, I think it's shown here, I guess.
Not across the timeline, okay. So, like, if I follow your strategy, what dramatic change can I expect in the next 12 months?
If you follow our
Yeah,
strategy.
if I follow your strategy, what kind of dramatic change I can expect for the next 12 months, 1 year?
Can you maybe give us 30 seconds to think? Okay, since our search deal is set
on your last slide, you were showing a benchmark company's projected timeline of the EBIT margin, right? So why is it the case that it's going up over time? And so it's basically benchmark companies in the makeup, but why do you expect the companies to also expand? So increase in trend in the profit margin? Especially if they are already fully afforded, and they haven't started this yet, so why do you think EBIT is going to go up?
So
reason, I think that this aseptic processing has high upfront costs, but for the long term, once we implement this, it will lead to lower distribution costs and high accessibility, and so we expect that our revenues will rise and hence the EBIT.
Okay, and to add on to that, governments may be more concerned in the future over sustainability and also the need to go green. So their initiative, again, as I mentioned before, indirectly influences customers or consumers to finally to buy to be more green in the usage of products and indirectly buy our green and sustainable biodegradable packagable goods. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you to our presenter for the wonderful presentation. Now before we move on, the timer will start as we speak.
Okay, imagine how many plastic waste do you create every time you buy a drink. And what if you could actually reduce waste while buying a drink? Isn't that amazing? Greetings, judges and audience. My name is Teresa, and I'm Jenny, and we're here to present to you a solution to this company named Delicious Beverage. Okay, now I'll give you a brief history about this company. So, Delicious Beverage is an exciting, fast-moving consumer goods company, and they're currently facing a high urgency challenge driven by regulatory pressure and sustainability issues. Like, for example, they have attracted some criticism by single-use plastic, and they have also have determined rules. This issue could put a further pressure into a decrease in customer trust and boost a bad brand impression. The key issue is 70% single-use plastic, chemical fertilizer, and tough drop in brand trust index, increased credibility, low transparency, and compete on price only. This is the problem statement is non-sustainable linear waste system, regulatory of chemical fertilizer, trust and brand erosion. To address this challenge, we introduced seed cycle and fresh load system. So what is actually seed cycle and fresh load system? So first of all, fresh load is a chemical fertilizer-free fresh exquisite drink. You could open, release, shake, and drink. You could also maintain freshness. So what is seed cycle? Seed cycle is smart recycling with AI technology, which could detect the original game system and with instant reward. So why chemical stabilizer is used to stabilize the ingredients, for example, tea and vitamins, for months. Without it, they could separate or degrade easily. So these fresh technologies allow us to maintain freshness, chemical-free, and build trust for customers. So what is Sip Cycle? Sip Cycle is a vending machine. It's a reverse vending machine for us to bring customers to care for our environment in a beneficial way for themselves too. So these are customer behaviors. Of course, if you want to pay more, we could get rewards back. So this is our mechanism. First of all, customer buys a drink with biodegradable cap system. After that, customer could then type the package waste into the reverse vending machine. And in the vending machine, it will pop up a QR code which you could use as a tracking code. After that, you could get vouchers or discount in the application. And third is the leaderboard. So it's like an interactive game with for the customers, especially for the Gen Z, because they want it to be beneficial for themselves, and also you could get insight of the traffic or where the waste was went through. For example, if you purchase 20 drinks and you could recycle it 20 times, you could get a voucher, or you could actually increase in a leaderboard. So next is how the waste from the vending machine get recycled and turned into drinkable utensils, which is could get back and used in the oven and becoming the packaging of the product again. So it's recycled.
Okay, and now I have the business model canvas for you to identify. There is a bit below, so I will give you time to see. The video can focus on the key activities, key resources, follow prepositions, and customer relationships. So I will give a brief. Our follow prepositions are transparency.
And we also have compliance, chemical-free zero waste, and also a living customer environment. And here it's all already customer-based, and we are supporting customers to recycle that. Okay? And next. Oh, okay. And next is the implementation and impacts. Our system has already, this implementation is already in our system, so it's working, and the system supports the needs of the company and will make a real impact on sustainability. Some of the impacts are 50 to 50% bottle return rate, and they also have reduced plastic waste and circular economic system. And next, the target audience. The target audience is still the same with the previous target audience, like Gen Z and urban millennials, but in here we are focused on the some behaviors, like for example, eco-conscious, health and wellness seekers, and also urban young professionals, and also the willingness to change. And by the way, this is also updated based on the consumer data. And next we also have prepared some strategy, like for example, go-to-market strategy. We will arrange a campaign to invite customers to reduce waste by buying drinks. This is a really interesting campaign because it makes the customers wonder, like, how can I reduce the plastic waste that I buy in another drink? And then we can also raise awareness by the vending machines. And we can also have a competitive advantage, which is personalized brand identity, and we need the whole ecosystem to make this functional. And last, we also have the risk, which is high infrastructure costs, and then also user adoption uncertainty and reviews. And we will handle that by giving the customers the best and the simple system that they could access. And for the high infrastructure costs, I will explain it in here, which is the profit simulation. So based on our calculations, we have calculated that the revenue increase from repeat purchase is around 10%, and let's say around $42 million. And then we also have the cost, which is the rewards, the machines, and then the app system would have a total of $19 million. And from the revenue increase and cost, we will still have a non-profit gain for around $20 million. Okay? And next, the conclusion.
So the conclusion is SimCycle and FedHop transforms dealerships into a smart beverage ecosystem that integrates products, innovation, behavioral psychology, and circular sustainability. Outcome is not regulatory risk, restore customer trust, build long-term profitability, enable scalable regional expansions.
Okay, that's it for our presentation. Thank you for your attention.
Hi, Teresa and Katie. Nice to meet you guys. So it's a pretty simple question about the distribution and the channel power. If I might see, turn back to the first page that you mentioned that 90% of your sales will be offline through vending machine. If modern trade, let's say big retailers, push back on the pricing on shelf price, how you maintain the stock that might be going to affect your supply chain? Because if I do know that vending machine only lasts for 1 year, if those things going to affect, let's say, your competitor will do the pushback pricing, how you maintain the supply chain and how you facing this kind of vulnerability in your company? Thank you.
So
very simple question. I didn't understand how the machine is going to work.
Okay.
Because it's you know, you put the cost of the machine, but I never see anything working like that. So can you explain to me how this is going to work? Because some are powder, some are liquids. You know, shaking sometimes. You know, you need to use a mixer. So can you explain a little bit about the technology, how it's going to be working?
Okay, of course. Our canning machine have a concept. First of all, we will stop the water base or the base, for example, green tea, and then the cap inside. There's the like vitamins or something ingredients connected to the cap. So after we open the cap, the ingredients will went to the water or to the green tea, and then we shake it. After we shake it, of course, we could drink it immediately. And then for the spinning machine, it could store, for example, we have a special design for the bottles. We could include the vinyl code, so it could track which either is it our daily sale product or not, because of course many customers wanting to put another bottle, right? And then we could just use that to label our product bottle, and then after we put it in, we could see the screen with AI technology. They will pop out a QR code to track and get rewards. We could scan it and get a voucher or a discount voucher for our next purchase. And after that, we could download the application, daily set application, and in there we could see the tracking where the batches of the waste you put it, where will it went through. So we could just see the entire process. And the next thing is you also could do the leaderboard. For example, if you get like 20 bottles you recycle, you'll get free drinks. So it's like convincing the customer to recycle more. So it's also beneficial for the environment and beneficial for the customers too. Also, it's less profit for us because we also recycle our products.
Yeah, to make it simple, so this vending machine is more like a trash can, but instead of making waste, you are
saying that the stabilizer is another thing because you mixed on time, alright there. So for each product you're going to have a type of machine. How I'm still a little confused on how we're going to do it because you have different lines of products with different types of products. So how do you solve that?
We are gonna, from the products, we will use the same packaging. So if it's a different product, the packaging will still be the same, but only the content is different. Like maybe the base is different, but the packaging will still be the same. So
Okay.
it'll be easier.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, so I have a question about this reverse vending machine. So first of all, how do you estimate
return rate is 50%? Because to me it sounds like a very high number, given that the typical consumer is very lazy. And my second question is,
company, right? So do you really want consumers to return the bottle? Because if they won't return the bottle, you can capture the full price as revenue. But if they return the bottle, you capture a smaller price. So I mean, it's down a bit contradicting to me. So which really is a preferable.
okay. Thank you for the question. I will answer that. So we have the 30 to 50% butter rate because we also have the rewarding system and point system, which when you deposit a waste, you can also get a reward from the system. So this will
12% drop in consumer brand trust, right? So how would your vending machine idea help rebuild the consumer trust for this company?
I see. Okay, thank you for your question. So we mentioned before that we have an app for the customer base, and it's with this app I will show you in here. You can see the customer segments. So there's a lot of things that customer can see, and this is really helpful for them because they really know what's happening with the waste and what are we doing with the waste, so they can track it and they can see, and it could make it really for the customers to know that their waste are really getting recycled rather than just being left there. And you could also see the ingredients in the bottle cap. So you can just see the ingredient went through the bottle cap. So it's like a real-time attack for the customer to see and trust. Okay. Yes. Okay. Alright. Thank you for Kongsi Positive. That's the end of the Q&A session and presentation. We also would like to
The timer will start as you speak.
Alright, good afternoon everyone. Allow us to explain and present Daily Sip's current challenges and how we think they should tackle them. Right, so we think that Daily Sip is caught at a perfect storm. We position Daily Sip as a brand under pressure with ambitious goals. First, on one hand, over 70% of their packaging are single-use plastic, and this matters because their core target market are Gen Z, and they seem to pay attention to those stuff, and they're lacking competitive advantage or competitive edge against some FMCG leaders in the industry. On the other hand, they are facing regulatory and food safety crisis. Recently, due to the updated food safety and regulations in Indonesia and Vietnam, some of their chemical stabilizers used aren't fully approved, which led to temporary product withdrawals from two of their biggest markets. And it's also resulted in a drop in the brand trust index. Despite all of this, Daily Sips still aims for three ambitious goals. They want to increase their market share in Southeast Asia, ready-to-drink beverages, strengthen their e-commerce presence, and achieve carbon neutral production by 2030. So our simple framework is that to increase market share in Southeast Asia market, we aim to target Gen Z, their target, their core target market in the first place. By doing so, we know that most e-commerce activities are conducted by Gen Z, and we believe that by targeting Gen Z alongside with their already existing influencer marketing and online marketing scheme, we believe that their e-commerce presence could be strengthened. And how we do it and how we tackle the sustainability problems will be explained on our next slides.
Okay, so our first solution addresses the packaging crisis. Now, the term single-use plastics are technically a misnomer since they're not really single-use. They are able to be recycled, but there are two barriers to this process. The first is contamination, and the second is economies of scale. So, what do I mean by that? So, usually when trash, like plastic bottles, gets mixed up with other types of waste, the contamination can affect the resin quality that comes out of the recycling process. Just does make it like not so efficient. And my economies of scale is really simple. If you don't recycle a lot of waste at the same time in the same facility, you basically lose a lot of money because it takes a lot of power to run the recycling process. But if you're doing it with not a lot of waste, and if you gather the waste from a lot of different areas, that complicates the logistics, increasing the cost even further. Now we propose waste for rewards program and QR tracker to solve this problem. Traditional cash revolve programs like the U.S. bottle bills or Germany's PFAM system prove that the concept works. PFAM in Germany, for example, achieves a 98% return through reverse vending machines. I'm pretty sure you can tell what a reverse vending machine is. You just put in the bottle, it's a reverse vending machine, and you get rewards from it. We propose Daily Sip adapt a similar approach, like I said, the Waste Rewards program with QR tag bottles. So how it works is every bottle is attached with a unique QR code identifier, and consumers can return bottles to collection centers where QR scanners log and track each return. Points are then credited instantly to the customer's reward account, which are redeemable for discounts of free drinks or other monetary incentives. These collection centers then aggregate clean, uncontaminated volumes of recycled waste at scale. This solution solves the contamination problem and the volume problem at the same time. Moving on to our second solution, we believe that in response to the regulatory issues faced by the company caused by the chemical stabilizers now being not approved in two of their core markets of Indonesia and Vietnam, it is more expensive to stay rather than to. We propose that pivoting is a better solution than just trying to defend the flavored drink line that is having regulatory problems, because this could mean bearing the cost of repeated reformalization, and they could also risk further reputational damages with their target audience. Instead, we recommend Daily Sip exit or suspend the flag line in Indonesia and Vietnam, and immediately reallocate resources to R&D, marketing, distribution toward health-conscious functional beverages, one of their other product lines, and also cut sugar in a lot of their products. As health-conscious functional drinks, especially in Southeast Asia, is projected to reach a market cap of $11.3 billion in the next few years. So it's a very profitable business venture to really focus all of their available capital into. And we plan to leverage AI formulation to achieve this transition, enabling us to keep capital expenditure under control and meet our goals at a reasonable time frame. How does it work? Basically, the AI screens alternatives to problematic stabilizers and flag formulations that are more likely to pass regulatory review, then predicts how changes in sugar, acidity, and functional ingredients affect flavor, so the company can keep consumer acceptance high while reducing sugar. And the last part is the AI showing product development cycles by analyzing consumer data and sugar signals, helping the company launch health focused products faster.
Alright, so yeah, basically this is the summary of how our solutions is expected to help Daily Sip meet their goals.
Thank you, Team Fanatic, for your wonderful presentation. Now let's move on with the Q&A session.
Thank you guys, thank you for your presentation. I just want to go back to your first solution, where you're talking about the bottle bill in US. Okay, when you're talking about that, you're talking about an area called reverse engineering or reverse logistics. Okay, so how are you going to manage this? Because, for example, in the US, you have from 5 to 10 cents cash back, right? But this is a legal law that was approved in the US to help the companies. As far as I know, Vietnam, Singapore is a little different. Vietnam and Indonesia, they don't have that. So it's a regulatory issue. So I want to know the regulations that you're looking at as the first solution, with the feasibility and scalability of this in your cost structure. Because the companies, they have extra costs, right? They need to bring back the bottles, and they are in the reverse logistics objective of doing the recycling, right? So how will you manage that? How are you going to do that? And what is the impact in your final cost?
Can you give us a couple seconds to discuss that answer?
Alright, so maybe our implementation will be first be trialed in Singapore. As you said, Singapore is probably a better option to start out. And then for the Indonesian and the Vietnam, we believe that there are numerous or various recycling companies and logistic companies that are sufficiently that can support our framework for recycling bottles. And to be completely honest, we do not conduct any numerical or financial analysis. We approach this to a more strategic solution. So strategically, we think that in the first place, daily sip wants to target Gen Z, and the way that we do that, if we boost the sustainability value proposition of daily sip. So even if you think that this might not be possible to do in like Indonesia or Vietnam, I still say that with proper financial management, with proper logistic management, it could possibly save daily sip in this, that has been caught in this ridiculous storm,
Thank you.
Sustainability is a buzzword for the beverage, not to mention it's an activity, right? So it's a bit concerning for me, as we know that your after-sales channel is going to be a dedicated collection centers. And on the other hand, you guys targeting on Gen Z market, right? How you can convince us that nowadays there's no more this kind of big traditional method of sustainability, like makes me going to the convenience store and then turn back the bottles for the reward, which is in the 3 or 4 years you guys targeting on the pilot, right? How you guys can maintain this last education country with last sustainability knowledge that makes them want to turn out to bring back the bottle and do the after sales reward.
First, we believe that our existing consumer base for daily sip are those who are aware of the environment and are paying attention to sustainability. So that's number one. We believe that our consumers are already well educated. Number two is that we offer incentives for our consumers to return their bottles, and we believe that our incentives, if managed properly, we could incentivize them enough so that they would return their bottles. And we have seen this concept being proven in various other countries too.
I also have questions about the regulatory compliance. So because this company operates in multiple countries, right? Singapore, Vietnam, and Indonesia. How would you ensure compliance?
I'm sorry, just to make things clear, by regulationary problems, you mean the fact that in the US, programs like this exist because some of the states actually, allow you to protect your laws and they give out incentives to the companies.
No, I'm not talking about the US. I'm talking about Singapore, Indonesia, and Vietnam, where this company operates. They have different countries have different regulatory rules or laws or policies. So how you can ensure that your strategy can meet all of these different countries' regulatory regions?
In the first place, Nelly said it's already a big company and they have offices and officers on each country, and we believe that our framing or our solution is for a good cause, and I believe that they could work through the regulations since. Well, what's really the harm for the regulators to not pass our proposed solutions?
I guess we're pretty confident that our system is beneficial in a way that local lawmakers should be open to the idea of implementing a system like ours. Negotiate like the details of negotiating, with the local regulatory regimes itself is a detail we haven't really sorted out yet. But the big picture is that we believe our idea is good enough for us to have a good chance of negotiating a deal with them. I guess that's what we want to say.
Okay, that's the end of our Q&A session. Let's give a big round of applause for. Okay. Now let us welcome the next team, the last team of the day, but
hello, good afternoon everyone, my fellow judges and the innovators. Today, I would like to introduce ourselves. My name is Abra, President Baya Sekose.
My name is Sarah. Hello, hello. So, yeah, we're team.
Today, and we're from Profit Bakers.
So we bake profits, basically.
Today, we're so excited to introduce our new Data 2.0, the future of eco-friendly hydration.
Alright, so a little bit of overview about daily SIP. You know that from the financials, this revenue is 23 billion US. Our target
Cambodia, and Singapore, Indonesia, and Vietnam with our distribution of 65% offline retail and 35% of e-commerce.
So here the problem analysis. Fertilizer used were not approved under the food safety or regulation. And
it receives around temporary product growth in two markets and a 12% drop in brand trust index, which is quite bad actually. The third one would be a larger FMCG players are investing heavily in sustainable packaging and transparency, so it gives us a little bit reputational disadvantage.
and we're left behind by the competitors.
Yes, basically. So we have multiple solutions. The first one would be a daily SIM smart refill station. We call it SIM station. So the concept is that users can just use their own tumblers to refill drinks, which is our product, with automatic dispenser machines in malls, campuses, and offices. So this is going to be some kind of an IoT machine, so you can just scan, like there's going to be like a small window in the machine where you can just scan the QR, and then you can press how many milliliters or liters of our product that you want, and you can just put your tumbler there, and it will just pour the our product. So the technology would be like the machine will use a reformulated liquid concentrate or powder-based, and of course, without harmful chemicals, which meets the food safety 2026 standards. The safetiness will come from a closed-loop system that ensures that drinks remain hygienic and fresh without excess preservatives.
So here the second solution. Every time the customer refill our dispenser on a skip station using a tumbler, point automatically go to the app, which is the customer can get a point that is can exchange to some exclusive merchandise. And the second one is the eco waiver level, as the one I said. And then the next one is the benefit.
Yeah, the benefit is that, so like I said before, the machine is an IoT machine. So if you use our app and then scan the barcode on the machine with our app once again, that means that the user are registered, right? And the more that you drink, the more that you use our machine, the more you scan the QR code, the more you guys are going to get points. The more you're going to get points, we're going to have a lot of like cooperation with other companies such as companies and now, or like e-commerce companies, or product discount, or exclusive merchandise, or even vouchers. So we also want to have some kind of gamification in the app. So like the PPT says, the eco wearer level feature that shows how many plastic bottles the user has been saving just by refueling using their tumbler in our vending machine.
And the third one is exclusive eco tumbler. And we launched an exclusive line of tumblers with cute and trendy design typical of Gen Z. And the purpose is to completely eliminate dependence on the single-use plastic, which is not eco-friendly. And the third, to transfer the behavior of buying drinks into collecting lifestyles, this tumbler is the entry ticket to the ecosystem. Because as we know that a lot of Gen Zs right now, like they got a chance to collecting many tumblers.
Yeah, and also in the vending machine, you can also just immediately buy the tumbler. So I think it's a pretty fun way also so that every machine have their own design of tumbler so that every person can just get unique tumblers.
And the financial prospects. For the elimination the cost of bottles, labels, and water transportation, sending only the concentrates or the liquids. So it's going to cut the logistic price or cost, and the new revenue sales of tumblers as an entry point provide high initial profits margins. Scalability, the dispenser model is easier to to scale in dense urban areas than traditional logistic distributions. The target market share is 10% within 3 years through member loyalty through the app.
Okay, so why do you think our solution work is that first it's not going to solve regulatory issues because we're going to use a more advanced and we're going to actually start researching in what ways we can do to make our product to become either powder based or liquid by based. So I hope it can solve the regulatory issues by having research in it. Also, we plan to have a high retention in this. The network point system ensures customers don't really switch to competitors because, hey, we can give you guys rewards if you guys use a lot of our refilling finish. The experience is appeal because comfort, eco-friendly, I hope it appeals towards efficiencies and operational excellence, which is cost remain low, selling prices remain competitive, 10 to 15% below market. So that is all from
Probably for your presentation. Now let's move on with our Q&A session. Please give a round of applause. Yeah, so I have two questions. The first question is about pricing. So I know that for some Starbucks coffee shops, they actually provide this type of regular benefits where customers with their own customers will provide some discount on the price of coffee. So how are you going to set the pricing policy?
Okay, I will answer the first question first. Regarding that, because we're going to cost the plastic or the use of our plastic bottle for our products, I hope that it can be switched into funding for that part. So instead of buying more plastic bottles for our drinks, we're going to instead
replace the allocation of funds to purchase the towers.
yes, and also to give the vendors more rewards.
Okay, and my second question is about the brand name. So currently you have the water bottles with the logo on it, right? But then you're essentially trying to get rid of that. So how can you maintain this brand name? So if you think about Coca-Cola, the moment you hear about Coca-Cola, you think of this red color logo with white characters embedded in it, right? But essentially this is gone, right? So how do you maintain?
Actually, like especially in Indonesia or maybe Vietnam, like this kind of like vending machine dispenser, I think like we're the only one who did it. So like I think it's gonna make our new icon like it's gonna create a new visual for our company like the Daily 2.0.
Other than that, it's a really nice question because it asks the branding of our products. If you don't have a bottle product, how are we supposed to market and brand our product, right? But I think if we just make our vending machine to look good and also become, let's say, the first bottle product or the first, apa namanya, kayak tea and a lot of such brands of, a lot of kinds of drinks, right? So if you can make the branding like the first one, the first vending machine, and we put it in a lot of places, like on people during let's say a marathon or during hackathons, those kind of things. I think it will ring a bell. First, like I said, the first, yeah.
Hey, I have a question about this station. So you mentioned that you want to remain hygienic and fresh. But actually, I do have concerns about these hygiene issues because it seems that it's pretty hard to maintain this kind of machine very clean and fresh compared to the individual packaged products. So do you have any specific ideas how you can achieve that goal?
So like about this dispenser machine, every once a week we're gonna like having like maintenance and refill the station. So I think it's gonna be good to check the quality of the product that inside.
Yeah. I think because in order for
minutes and refill the concentrates of the cuisine.
Yes.
Thank you guys, thank you. I was expecting you to tell me more about the profit side, because you're profit makers, right? So I'm gonna go for the cost, right? You presented that you want to reduce 15 to 20% of the cost of logistics, right? And I was wondering, just to give an answer to my colleague, that you're gonna do a week maintenance, right? So just to remind you some costs that you overcome, you have the cost of the machine, the logistic and labor that you have. Those machines you cannot put anywhere because you need to pay. You have a cost of renting the space of the machine, right? You have basically the cost of the location where you do it. You have the inventory that you need to have that, right? And you have restocking. That's a lot of cost. So how can you guys reduce 15 to 20% of cost of logistics if this kind of machine increases the logistics because you need, you know, if you sell to a supermarket, you put in the shelf, it's there. But this one, you need to go every week, as you said. How you do it? You want to keep the profitability of the company, but at the same time, you are increasing your cost. I'm not discussing your strategy to have a better quality, to have loyalty of the customers because you develop your numbers. I'm only looking profitability, cost times profitability. So what do you think about this? Because it seems that it's not reducing, it's increasing, although you can have a brand awareness, brand loyalty, all those things. But in the cost, how you are addressing that?
From my side, we're definitely thinking about, because we're basically exchanging the logistics from having to manufacture, let's say, the bottles, and then having to have a factory to put the liquid inside bottles and whatsoever, having to have trucks and then containers to send our products to the local markets and whatsoever. It's definitely something that we have thought about, and to be honest, to answer, we haven't really done a really big research about it. However, from our calculations, just from the mental calculations, it's not going to increase actually. If there's anything, it's going to decrease. Why? Because we're able to store more products instead of like having it on shelf and then have it for like a long time. The thing about powder and liquid is that you can store more for a longer time and in a basically less space. So basically you can have more with the same space at the same time, if it makes sense. You can have more products. Anything on that?
I think like I would say the same thing.
I hope it answers your question.
So, is this the last room?
It is the last
Okay.
room.
I'll ask a bit fun questions. Since you guys keep mentioning about the tumbler, right? If I were you guys, I would more concerned on a franchise thing instead of making a beverage. You know, the Starbucks do these things for the franchise, and then they sell the brand awareness through the cup and the tumbler design, which its city logo printed on the tumbler. A bit concerning for me from the profit wise. Do you guys think in this kind of more transformation period, which is after COVID, there's not much kindness in life in a developed country like Indonesia, Vietnam, or Singapore is a quite measurable country, but I would say for Indonesia and Vietnam, how you guys can maintain with the limited cost and the profit that can be aligned with this kind of strategy?
Okay. Okay, it's a very tricky question, and it might sound really bad because, of course, business is talking more about profit, right? I think, personally, the best thing that we can sell for now is our brand awareness by having an innovation, by being the first after some years you can hybrid into something else. Regarding the answer to your question, I hope it's a satisfying one.
Okay, that's the end of our Q&A session. Thank you, Team Profit Leaders, for your wonderful presentation. And now all presentations have been completed. We request all judges to follow PIC for judge deliberation. And as for the audience, we remind one more time, don't forget to scan the
One QR code is all for 16, so don't forget to vote, because your voice matters. Thank you. Now, while waiting for judge deliberation, we will have a 10-minute break, and we will go back here for the winner's announcement.
Thousands of people. Thousands of people have felt an earthquake that struck southern New South Wales in just the past few hours. We'd still need new technology to suck carbon dioxide out of the skies by the middle of the century.
Attribution say that climate change is playing a role in Iran's drought.
Thousands of people have felt an earthquake that struck southern New South Wales in just the past few hours. We'd still need new technology to suck carbon dioxide out of the skies by the middle of the century.
Attribution say that climate change is playing a role in Iran's drought.
Cinta, cinta yang tumbuh di setiap saat. Ku lukis sebuah kisah yang nyata agar semua tak berakhir. kau tahu bahwa kau segalanya. Ku pun merasa berjanjilah pada diriku selamanya. Rasa cinta, cinta yang tumbuh di setiap saat. Kalau kisah yang nyata, agar semua tak berakhir. Semua kisah terlukis indah, kau dan aku akan selalu menyatu dan yakinkan hati kita berdua. Semua kisah terlukis indah, kau dan aku akan selalu menyatu dan yakinkan hati kita berdua. Lama ku memendam rasa di dada, mengagumi indahmu wahai jelita. Tak dapat lagi ku ucap kata, bisuku diam terpesona. Dan andai suatu hari kau jadi milikku, tak akan ku lepas dirimu, oh kasih. Dan bila waktu mengizinkanku untuk menunggu dirimu, ku rasa ku terjatuh cinta pada pandangan yang pertama. Sulit bagiku untuk bisa berhenti mengagumi dirinya. Seiring dengan berjalannya waktu, akhirnya kita berdua bertemu. Oh diriku tersipu malu melihat sikapmu yang lucu. Dan andai suatu hari kau jadi milikku, tak akan ku lepas dirimu, oh kasih. Dan bila waktu mengizinkanku menunggu dirimu, yeah, yeah, yeah. Rasa ku terjatuh cinta pada pandangan yang pertama. Sulit bagiku untuk bisa berhenti mengagumi dirinya. Oh Tuhan tolong diriku untuk membuat jangan jadi milikku. Sayangku, kasihku, oh cintaku, she's all that I need. Dan bila kita bersama, kan ku jaga dirimu untuk selamanya. Tolong terima cintaku.
Yeah, summertime, ain't it summertime? If I don't have you as mine, but you're always on my mind. In a magazine you showed up, baby girl, your beauty makes my mind blow up. Your personality is calm and friendly, the kind of girl that I would love to be with me. Once I start, no I won't fall back, it's my cell phone number, so please call back.
Rasa ku terjatuh cinta pada pandangan yang pertama. Sulit bagiku untuk bisa berhenti mengagumi dirinya. Oh Tuhan tolong diriku untuk
lama. Jika kau masih ragu untuk menerima, biarkan hati kecilmu bicara, karena ku yakin kan datang saatnya. Kau jadi bagian hidupku, kau jadi bagian hidupku. Takkan pernah berhenti untuk selalu percaya, walau harus menunggu 1000 tahun lamanya. Biarkanlah terjadi, wajar apa adanya, walau harus menunggu 1000 tahun lamanya. Jika kau masih ragu untuk menerima, biarkan hati kecilmu bicara, karena ku yakin kan datang saatnya. Kau jadi bagian hidupku, kau jadi bagian hidupku. Untuk selalu percaya, walau harus menunggu 1000 tahun lamanya. Biarkanlah terjadi, wajar apa adanya, walau harus menunggu 1000 tahun lamanya. Selama apapun itu, ku akan setia menunggu. No, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no. Takkan pernah berhenti untuk selalu percaya, takkan pernah berhenti untuk selalu percaya, walau harus menunggu 1000 tahun lamanya. Biarkanlah terjadi, wajar apa adanya, walau harus menunggu 1000 tahun lamanya.
Andai aku bisa menjadi seperti yang kau minta, ku jadi juwita kala cinta menggoda. Tak peduli jika surga dan neraka tak pernah ada, yang penting kau ada, meski tanpa pernah asmara. Mengapa sabda alam perlu jua satukan kisah kita? tak sendirian. Jalani derita, kau bawakan kisahmu, aku mendengarkan. Oh kita bergantian, bertukar nestapa, menawar trauma, datang seadanya. Terasku terbuka, kita hampir mati, dan kau selamatkan aku, dan ku menyelamatkanmu. Dan sekarang aku tahu cerita kita tak jauh berbeda. But deep down back the world, sometimes I wanna fall. Namun suratmu kan ku ceritakan ke anak-anakku nanti, bahwa aku pernah dicintai. Fully as I am, with everything you are. Dahulu kita terbiasa selalu menunggu, terus menunggu, berharap datang seseorang untuk melengkapi kisah hidup ini. Terlalu sulit melangkah untuk temukan yang selalu dinantikan, hingga kita pun berjumpa, tiada lagi alasan untuk menunda. Akhirnya kita bersama setelah menanti lama, semoga selalu terjaga. Waktu telah berbicara, menanti tak sia-sia, karena kau yang kini ada. Sangatlah berharga, bertahan di kesendirian telah menuntunku menemukanmu. Tanpa ragu aku berikan semua rasa cinta yang tersimpan lama. Penantian selama ini tak membuatku jera, tetap berharap. Ku yakin seseorang kan datang kepadaku, menggenggam tanganku. Akhirnya kita bersama setelah menanti lama, semoga selalu terjaga. Dari 1000 jalan di dunia, mengapa berpapasan bertemu dia? Inginnya lari pergi tanpa kata, mengapa sudut mata hafal rupanya? Lupa bahwa lupakannya tak mudah, tapi itu senyuman yang ku suka. Sepertinya sama, tatapan khas matanya masih yang lama. Kau ajak bicara, seketika kembali ku jatuh cinta. Mata sia-sia. Dari begitu banyak manusia, mengapa lagi-lagi dia yang ku jumpa? Malam hangat tapi ku terjaga, rindukan dirinya si pusat kecewa. Lupa bahwa lupakannya tak mudah, tapi menyangkut dia ku tak bisa. Sepertinya sama, tatapan khas matanya masih yang lama. Kau ajak bicara, seketika kembali ku jatuh cinta. Sialan dia, sakitan air mata sia-sia. Melesat tepat di titik kelemahanku, letaknya di hatiku ini. Terbaik tetap selalu ada singgasana, tempat untuknya. Sepertinya sama, tatapan khas matanya masih yang lama. Kau ajak bicara, seketika kembali ku jatuh cinta. Sialan dia, sakitan air mata sia. Dari semuanya, hanya dia, oh dia yang buat tidurku tak tentu. Sialan. Kamu bilang aku tak sama, tak seperti saat pertama. Aku bilang mungkin pikiranmu saja.
Kamu bilang ku tak peduli, tak seperti pertama kali. Aku bilang janganlah ragu sendiri.
Mengapa, oh mengapa banyak keraguan dalam hatimu,
lembaran foto hitam putih. Aku coba ingat lagi warna bajumu kala itu, kali pertama di hidupku manusia lain memelukku. Lembaran foto hitam putih. Aku coba ingat lagi wangi rumah di sore itu, kue coklat balon warna-warni, pesta hari ulang tahunku. Dimanapun kalian berada, ku kirimkan terima kasih untuk warna dalam hidupku dan banyak kenangan indah. Kau melukis aku.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now reached the most anticipated moment of the day, the announcement of the winners of INNOVENTURE 2026. Each team has demonstrated exceptional effort, creativity, and analytical thinking, making this a very competitive final round.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now proceed to the announcement for our winners.
Now, let's start from the third place. The third place is awarded to Profit Bakers! Congratulations to Sarah Kanuwijaya and Abra Nilmi. Congratulations to Profit Bakers, to Sarah Kanuwijaya and Abra Nilmi.
Now, moving on to the second place. Second place is awarded to Garuda Consultant.
For the amazing presentation from Garuda Consultant for Janice David Setiono and Keisha Rosalie Rico. Let's give a round of applause for Garuda Consultant.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've been all waiting for. Our first place winner
is Indonesia Consulting Group.
Congratulations for Wilson Teteo and Nathan Chang. Creativity and analytical thinking from Indonesia Consulting Group. Again, we congratulate Wilson Theo and Nathan Chang for the first place winner of INNOVENTURE 2026. Let's give a round of applause to Indonesia Consulting Group. For the second winner and third winner, please come to the stage for a group picture together. We would like also to invite Calvin Lawrence, Lucas, and also Vincent and Catherine to come to the stage. Lucas, Calvin, Catherine, and Vincent, please come to the stage to take a group picture together.
Congratulations to all winning teams. Let's give one big round of applause to all the winning teams today. Congratulations.
Congratulations for all the winners, and thank you for all the insightful suggestions from all the judges. All the winners, we will now go back to Alright, now everyone from the left side, move on to the center side of the stage. We're gonna take a we say from zero to venture hero. Innoventure 2026, from zero to venture hero. Okay, let's try first. Innoventure 2026, from zero to venture hero. Okay, let's try. Innoventure 2026, from zero to venture hero. Alright, thank you everyone. Thank you for the judges, thank you for the panelists, and thank you for all the audience. As we come to the end of today's event, we would like to take a moment to appreciate everyone who has been part of this meeting. INNOVENTURE is not only about competition, it's about growth, collaboration, and encouragement in the future.
To all participants reaching the stage, is already an achievement itself. Ideas you have presented today reflect not only your capabilities, but also your potential to create a real impact in the future.
We hope that this experience will stay.
Halo teman-teman INNOVENTURE 2026, saya Marta selaku Deputy Head of Recruitment and Training Unit dari Bank of China Jakarta Branch. Kesempatan kali ini saya akan memperkenalkan sedikit sejarah Bank of China, lalu produk apa saja yang kami punya, lalu lowongan apa saja yang kami buka untuk teman-teman yang sudah lulus maupun yang belum lulus ingin magang di Bank of China. Lalu benefit apa saja yang kami punya, saya akan jelaskan secara singkat. Bank of China didirikan pada tahun 1912 oleh Presiden Dr. Sun Yat-sen. Lalu Bank of China perform sebagai bank sentral dan juga terdaftar dalam Bursa Efek Hong Kong maupun Bursa Efek Shanghai dan memiliki institusi di lebih dari 62 negara. Bank of China Hong Kong didirikan di tahun 1917, lalu terdaftar di Bursa Efek Hong Kong pada tahun 2002, lalu memiliki 200 lebih cabang di Hong Kong. Bank of China Hong Kong juga merupakan salah satu yang dapat mencetak uang kertas Hong Kong dolar. Lalu memiliki cabang-cabang di ASEAN, yaitu di Thailand, Malaysia, Filipina, dan juga salah satunya di Indonesia. Jadi Bank of China Jakarta Branch itu pernah berhenti beroperasi di tahun 1964, lalu kembali beroperasi di tahun 2003. Bank of China Jakarta Branch direstrukturisasi menjadi Bank of China Hong Kong dan menjadi Bank of China Hong Kong Jakarta Branch itu di tahun 2017. Lalu kami memiliki 9 office di Indonesia, 7 di Jakarta, 1 di Surabaya, 1 di Medan, dan di tahun ini kami berencana membuka 1 lagi di cabang Semarang. Nah, untuk tahun ini di bulan Maret, total karyawan kami sudah 396 karyawan. Untuk cabang di Jakarta, kami ada di Mangga 2, The East, CBD Pluit, Kelapa Gading, Central Park, Peak, ya, lalu di cabang ada Surabaya, Medan, dan opening soon di Semarang. Who are we looking for? Lowongan apa saja sih yang kami buka di Bank of China? Untuk teman-teman yang bisa berbahasa Mandarin, bisa melamar ke lowongan Customer Service, Teller, Transaction Centralized Officer, Cash Management Officer, Channel and Segmentation Management Officer, Assistant Relationship Manager of Business Development Department, Assistant Relationship Manager of Corporate Banking Department, Financial Institution Officer, IT Security Officer, Financial Management Officer. Lalu untuk di cabang Semarang, kami juga sedang membuka lowongan untuk Mandarin Speaking Frontline. Kita yang pertama ada THR, itu akan didapatkan di Lebaran. Lalu kita juga ada Year End Allowance. Lalu kita ada Annual Performance Bonus. Lalu ada juga Meal and Transportation Allowance. Lalu ada Local and Overseas Training. Jadi teman-teman tidak hanya bekerja, tapi kami bekali juga untuk mengikuti pelatihan-pelatihan, baik itu lokal maupun overseas. Lalu ada juga Private Health Insurance, dan juga Career Development. Lalu ada juga Seasonal Benefit, akan mendapatkan bakcang, 17 Agustus juga mendapatkan voucher, Imlek juga mendapatkan angpau, dan lain-lain. Jadi banyak sekali benefit yang akan didapatkan kalau teman-teman join di Bank of China Jakarta Branch. CV bisa dikirimkan ke alamat email kami di recruit.id@bankofchina.co.id dengan mencantumkan nama, strip, posisi yang akan di-apply. Untuk teman-teman yang bersekolah di China, kami mempunyai satu kartu debit card bernama BOC PPIT Union Pay Debit Card. Kartu itu adalah co-branding debit card dari BOC Jakarta Branch dengan PPIT, Persatuan Pelajar Indonesia Tiongkok. Ya, kartu itu bisa digunakan transaksi di China, di luar China maupun di Indonesia. Jadi kartu tersebut bisa dipakai menggunakan akun RMB, bisa juga akun IDR. Jadi ketika dipakai akun RMB tapi tidak mencukupi, nanti bisa langsung otomatis didebit dari akun IDR. Untuk teman-teman yang berminat untuk membuka rekening, bisa langsung datang ke kantor cabang Bank of China Jakarta, lalu membuka rekening ataupun bertanya-tanya lebih lanjut mengenai produk-produk apa saja yang kami punya. Sekian informasi dari Bank of China Jakarta Branch. Kami menunggu kedatangan teman-teman semua ke Bank of China Jakarta Branch. Sampai jumpa.
Thousands of people have felt an earthquake that struck southern New South Wales in just the past few hours. We'd still need new technology to suck carbon dioxide out of the skies by the middle of the century.
Attribution say that climate change is playing a role in Iran's drought.